Hello, it's Friday, we've got the Friday feeling, it means it's EDP column day. Rather embarrassingly, here we are, got a new photo in this week. Just wanted to talk to you about the content of my column because I know that not everybody reads EDP, but it's a message close to my heart this month. Sometimes we go joint agent with other agents, not very often. Sometimes we take on properties that have been on with another agent. So we get to hear about the journey that the property and the people trying to sell have been through to get to the point at which they are when they get to us. Everybody has a reason for moving. And I know every agent will say we're different, and this is where I feel that we really are different. We totally get that with pretty much every house move comes a big personal change, shift, reason. It can be a happy reason, it can be a sad reason, it can be our specialist subject, selling a property for someone who's gone into care or passed away. It can be marriage, which is a happy reason. It can be divorce, which for some could be happy, for some can be sad. We won't go into that. It can be that you've got older and your family has grown up and left, and you then left with this big house that you and your partner are rattling around in, or you might even be on your own at that point. And that's really hard to then leave that family home, those memories behind. It can be that you are relocating to a different area, and although that's exciting, that can still be a pull on the heartstrings. But even if it's exciting, what I'm saying is your mind still is on the emotional thing that's making you move. You don't need to be worrying that the agent that you've put your property on the market with to sell does not have your back, and that they are acting selfishly to get a sale, to rush things through, to hit a target. You want to make sure that they are acting at all times with your best interests at heart, that they're getting you the best possible price. If they're not getting the best possible price, it's because you've instructed them to meet a time scale instead. But what has to happen, in my opinion, and my girl's opinion here, is that we have to make sure that we're matching up what your needs are and your agenda, your motivation, your emotions with the buyer that we're matching you to. And this week I just wanted to talk about two things. One, a property that we went triple agent on, actually, with a couple of much larger than us agents, and it's because the property we're taking on has lost two buyers with the original agent that they went on with, and the second buyer they lost nearly 6 weeks into the sale because they couldn't get the mortgage that they needed, and they were looking at turning it into I believe it has multiple occupancy. Now when people come to us to purchase a property, one of the first things we do is make sure the solicitors are structured before we take it offline, before we mark it as sold. The memos have to be issued, and this frustrates sometimes our buyers and our sellers, but we just say, come on, take your time, we've got this far, let's make sure this is definitely sold before we mark it as sold, because then once it goes back online again, if you have to do that, it does have a detrimental effect. People want to know why that sale's fallen through. And also we make sure that the people that want to purchase the property have got the relevant cash in the bank, sold subject to contract, or the right funding, or whatever that funding might be. We don't wait and then find out 6 weeks down the line where you're at risk of your chain breaking down or having to relaunch your property, sometimes at a lower price, to keep that chain intact. Another one over in Lowestoft, exactly the same thing with a local agent over there, 4 weeks down the line, and they were first time buyers, so they should really have had an AIP, in my opinion, approved before we're even getting to the point of offering, to even know what the budget is. So the one over in Lowestoft, actually we've linked them up to our mortgage broker that we deal with and looked at some various options to keep their chain intact and to do right by them, find a new buyer, releasing equity, maybe doing a buy-to-let. There's a few different scenarios. But we haven't selfishly, because that property is now on the market with us as well, we haven't selfishly said, well, we want to now have a bite at, is it cherry, apple? Bite at the apple? You know what I mean. So we've said, let's explore all the options to keep both of our clients now happy, not cost people more money we need to cost them, and push on forward. So when you are marketing your property and you're choosing which agent to go with, I would just say it's not always about the company that's got the biggest amount of properties on their books. It's about who do you feel really understands you, understands the reason that you're moving, and who absolutely is going to act on your behalf with integrity at all times. Happy Friday, everybody. We've got vacancies next week, and one left, I think, on Saturday. One appointment's got left on Saturday, and then into next week for valuations. If you're thinking about moving, but just can't bear the thought of being stuck in a pushy sales situation, we're not that kind of company. Hopefully you're all getting that by now. We're a busy company, but we're not that kind of company. See you soon!